Hi, I want to record a video regarding the special right triangles and how to do this worksheet. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And I don't know why this one's coming up. Okay. So what I want to do is, first of all, I want to draw on this thing. Okay, so there's two different types of special right triangles. There's a 45, 45, 90. And then there's a 30, 60, 90. Okay. And so this first one is the 30, 60, 90 here. Okay. And what you need to know in the, these triangles right here are 45, 45, 90. And in the 45, 45, 90 degree triangle, the sides are equal. The two smaller sides are equal. And the longest side is called the hypotenuse. So the legs are the two small sides. Multiplied by radical 2 will equal the hypotenuse. And you really have to understand your radicals here, okay? You were given a lot of practice before, and so hopefully, especially in algebra 2a, so hopefully you remember that. Okay, so if you multiply the leg times radical 2, that will equal the hypotenuse. So for number 4, if you multiply 3 radical 2 times radical 2, right, that equals, so radical 2 times radical 2 is radical 4. Radical 4 is 3 times 2, which is equal to 6. Okay. All right, don't think too much beyond this. It's just these are all, when you have 45, 45, 90 degree triangles, you just have to multiply the leg times radical 2 to get the hypotenuse. All right, and so this is equal to 6, and y is equal to 3 radical 2 because the legs are equal to each other. Okay. Now, what if we get a problem like number 2, where we have the hypotenuse, the longest side, but we need to find the legs? Okay, well, we kind of need to find the inverse of that. Okay, so remember, it's leg times radical 2 equals the hypotenuse. Well, the hypotenuse is 4, is equal to the leg times radical 2. And what you're going to do is you're going to divide both sides by radical 2. But when you do that, remember, you can't have a radical in the denominator because it's an irrational number. So you want to rationalize it. And the way you rationalize it, in this case, it would be you multiply the top and the bottom by radical 2. Now, by multiplying the top and the bottom of radical 2, you're essentially multiplying by 1, right? So you're not really changing the value. You're just getting rid of the radical in the denominator. So what ends up happening is this is 4 radical 2 over, this is radical 4. Oh, but you said that we get rid of the radical. Well, you get rid of the radical by simplifying this. Radical 4 is 2. And because everything is separated by multiplication here, 4 times radical 2 over 2, what you're going to do is you could cancel out. Okay, and this becomes 2 radical 2. So the answer to y is 2 radical 2. And since the legs are equal to each other, this is also 2 radical 2. Okay. All right, let's head down to the 30, 60, 90 portion. Okay. The 30, 60, 90 portion is, okay, well, so these are 30, 60, 90 triangles. So it's the short leg, I'll call it the S, times 2 equals the hypotenuse. And then the short leg times radical 3 is equal to the longer leg. So in the 45, 45, 90 degree triangle, right, we have the two legs that are equal. In the 30, 60, 90 triangle, however, there's one leg that's shorter and one leg that's longer. And so the L is the longer one and the S is the shorter one. And remember, the hypotenuse is always the same, right? It's the longest side. Okay, so let's say number 12 for a sec. All right, so if we do number 12, we notice that, first of all, 10 is the hypotenuse, y is the short leg, x is the long leg. Okay, so once you define those right away, okay, again, because the short leg is the shortest side, the long leg is the middle side, the middle length side, and the 10, the hypotenuse, is the longest side. Okay, so right now we have the hypotenuse. We have the hypotenuse of 10. So we know that short leg times 2 is equal to the hypotenuse. So the S is y, so it'll be 2y is equal to 10, and you divide it by 2, and so y is equal to 5. All right. Now, how do we get the long leg? Well, we get the long leg by multiplying 5 times radical 3 equals the long leg. So this ends up being 5 radical 3. Okay. Now let's do a problem like number 14, where we have the 12 as the long leg here. Okay. So if 12 is the long leg here, so we remember the proportions. Okay. So, or the formula, short leg times 2 equals the hypotenuse. Short leg times radical 3 equals the long leg. And so right now we have the long leg. So we have S times radical 3 is equal to 12. Well, if I want to find S, I have to divide by radical 3. And so S is equal to 12 over radical 3. But remember, we can't have the denominator in the, so we can't have a radical in the denominator. So we multiply the top and the bottom by radical 3. Again, this is called rationalizing the denominator. And so when you multiply this out, this becomes 12 radical 3 over radical 9. Radical 9 is equal to 3. You could simplify this, so that is equal to 4 radical 3. Okay, so this y is equal to 4 radical 3. And then you multiply that by 2, right? Because then you get the hypotenuse. So short leg times 2 equals the hypotenuse. So this ends up being 8 radical 3. You have to really remember your radicals, or else this will really mess you up. Okay, this is a really important section, because once you get to the unit circle, it just gets a little tougher from there. All right, hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a good day.